guys, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I'm gone for a week and the horror community is up in arms. We're remaking The Exorcist. What the hell's going on? Well, I guess I just can't take weeks off anymore. Today we're going to be talking about the Exorcist remake. Wow, that was not news I was expecting to come back to, but before I get into that, I'm gonna need you guys to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Alright, now let's get into it. So it was reported by Deadline that Morgan Creek, the current production company that owns the rights to The Exorcist, was going to make a new 2021 reboot. Tell me how that sounds like a good idea. Seriously, pitch a good idea for a reboot that would actually make that film better. Okay, I need to calm down a little bit before I get into this. Oddly enough, it was announced at the end of an article about something completely different. Deadline was reporting on the show Dead Ringers, which is also made by that studio, and how they're going to do another season, blah 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 blah. And at the very end of the article, there's a little tagline that says, oh yeah, and you know, they're also working on like some other stuff, like some AMC, this AMC new movie, like sounds cool. And then they're also doing like a remake of The Exorcist, bruh. How do you just like casually throw that on at the end of like a little thing there, you know? That's just like okay, you know what, Dead Ringers, cool, that's something, you know, and then, oh, you know, Exorcist reboot, we'll just sneak that in there. That's like a whole article in itself. That's huge news. Huge news. But in only the couple days after that was reported, there has been an outrage online about it. Besides the thousands of tweets from people saying that they just don't want to reboot The Exorcist for obvious reasons, there's also a petition online that you can sign to try and cancel this remake. The most ironic part about this whole thing is that a tweet was dug up from 2015 from Morgan Creek saying, "For the record, we will never attempt to remake The Exorcist." I smell something sneaky going on here and I don't like it. Now, here's how I feel about it. Obviously, there are things about The Exorcist that could be remade and done better. My one criticism about the film is it is definitely very scary still today. A lot of the things hold up. It's still, you could still argue that it is the scariest film of all time. I think that it's not that scary anymore just because we've had so many other things come out that I think has topped it. In my opinion, I think Hereditary is a little scarier than that film. But with that being said, I just don't think you can remake this film. If you're gonna try and just reboot the story like the same thing, just different actors and modernize it, I just don't think it's gonna work. The film was truly lightning in a bottle between the cast and crew and just a lot of things that worked out to make that movie as scary and perfect as it is. And then of course, you know, the film is cursed too. That's not exactly lightning in a bottle, but you know, it's fun to mention. I think the best way they can go about this, because let's be honest, this is one of the very few horror movies that just should never be remade. But this makes me think of another film that I think they should just never make a remake of, that they actually did make a remake of. The Shining. Speaking of The Shining, I just went to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, and let me tell you, very spooky. Did a little tour of it. I knew everything the guy was saying. I felt like a know-it-all. It was pretty cool though. But let's talk about what they did with The Shining that they could possibly, potentially, do with The Exorcist. 40 years after the release, Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining, came out, which was also based on the sequel novel Dr. Sleep. Now there is actually a sequel novel to The Exorcist called Legion, but that's what Exorcist III is based off of. Why don't, instead of rebooting it, we just make a continuation, like kind of like how we've been doing with a lot of horror series nowadays. This way we're not angering fans and we're just basically making another sequel kind of with the same title. Just like, you know, Halloween 2018 did? How many times have I said that on this channel? I'd probably be a millionaire if I got paid for that. I think it would be kind of cool though if we did a sequel where it was Regan and she's like older and then hey, who knows, maybe she gets possessed again, or maybe it's her daughter that gets possessed this time around. This is just me spitballing, I don't know. Personally, I don't know if I'd be a fan of a remake of this movie, honestly. I'm trying to be positive about it, trying to see a silver lining, but I think you're never going to improve upon this movie. That's just my opinion though. So what do you guys think about the Exorcist remake reboot? Should they remake it or should they make a continuation kind of like Halloween 2018? Should they follow the Dr. Sleep route and make a sequel 40 years or so later? Tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video on the Exorcist remake. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with me. I really needed a week off just to clear my head and to figure some shit out. It's been a little tough lately and I got some stuff figured out and life is good again. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at KillJoyJake1 and on Instagram at KillJoy_Jake. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.